What's up, y'all? My name is Ian Evans, and welcome to the Soccer Comic Rant. We got a list of topics to run through. There's Liverpool versus who the hell did they play? Oh, Arsenal.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. Chelsea versus Newcastle. We're gonna talk about the giant killers. Southampton versus Man City, just shutting them down, dragging them back. Making sure they don't get into the Champions League easy. Speaking of not making things easy, Man United, Jesus Christ versus West Ham. What a disgrace, disgusting. It was just I let's forget Spurs. They're no better. They were at home to they lost 2-0 to Crystal Palace, and what's his name can say Postecoglou can say like he's just wrapping his players up in cotton wool because they have a final or something to play for, but so does Crystal Palace. They're in an epic final versus Man City, and we can talk El Clasico. I mean, fireworks, bro, fireworks. And Ancelotti's out. He's going to coach Brazil. I don't think he should do it, but he won't answer my calls. And Xabi Alonso's in. He's going to be the new coach of Real Madrid. I feel like we can talk, but I feel like Xabi is a great coach, but he's going to have trouble over there. It's a personnel problem where he needs to run his system and to be a good team. The balance isn't there. So let's see if he can fix that. We got Lee Hudson, stand-up comic, Southampton fan, Man City stoppers in the building. And not just only did they stop Man City from winning and getting an easy 3 points, they also avoided tying with Derby to be having the lowest point total in Premier League history. So going out with a bang, baby.
Oh, we are officially not the worst. We are opening bottles tonight. We are. Get this.
I brought tea for the occasion.
Yeah, we're getting the bubbly stuff open.
Yeah. You deserve it, man.
I got beer. I got a beer here as well. No cup of tea. No cup of tea for me tonight. It's just
Drink up.
We are celebrating.
Congrats. You're no Derby. You are no Derby.
We are officially not the worst.
Yeah. Or tied with the worst. Or so Derby.
We are just the second worst instead.
Just the second worst. And you deserve multiple drinks for that. So congrats. And you did what, to Man City that I don't know why you didn't do it all year, but I get it. It's just one of those times. What should we talk about first, based on that list?
I mean, Liverpool Arsenal was probably the biggest event in the Premier League of the weekend, right, in terms of obviously it's first v second.
All right. And what do you think of this result as a look for Arsenal? Like, it's 2-2. They capitulated completely in the first half. Liverpool was running through them, but then Arsenal decided to come out as the Arsenal that usually starts their games. They started their game in the second half the way they normally started most of their games at the beginning of the season when they were successful. Put that intensity on Liverpool, got the 2 goals back, but then Mourinho got sent off, and then they kind of had to hang on. But is the game important? They're still going to be second. They're not completely safe, but even if they lost to Liverpool, it wouldn't have been bad. It's Liverpool at Anfield. They haven't won there in a minute. So this might have been a game where a point is good anyway. Are Arsenal fans mad? I'm asking a lot of things. When do you justify them?
I feel like they showed some spirit to come back from 2-0 down, because like Anfield was in party mode at that point. Like there was a lot of cockiness in the stands, and I kind of felt like from the Liverpool players as well. Like they were coasting against a team that they've beaten to the title. Arsenal potentially could even slip from second if they get some losses, and I think we kind of did them a favour by stopping Man City from winning. um, on the Saturday. But yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like Arsenal needed to show some balls in this game, which they eventually did after getting dumped out the Champions League, after losing to Bournemouth last week as well. Like, I feel like if Arsenal had lost this game, we would have seen, like, I mean, the Arsenal fans were having a bit of a meltdown after getting knocked out of the Champions League anyway. But I feel like if they'd have lost this game without even, like, landing a punch on Liverpool, then they would have gone fully into meltdown mode. So I'm glad for their sake that they got it back to 2-2. And who knows, if Mourinho hadn't got sent off, they could have turned it round completely in this game. It kind of took obviously the sting out of the momentum they had, and then Liverpool kind of put the pressure back on at the end, but couldn't find a way through. So yeah, I kind of feel like they needed to show that fight to get back to 2-2. But I mean, yeah, it's like I say, it's Arsenal have to fight just to keep that second place now.
Yeah, and they should they should put in an effort. I feel the players towards the end of the season, regardless of all the other games, they should. Getting a point here is a good thing. The disappointing thing was, hey, Liverpool fans, you say you can react the way you want to react to Trent leaving. The outside doesn't understand. I feel like this is a made up statute that you made up so that you can act the way you want. But and you do comment on other teams, the way they react to this situations like this and other situations. So I feel like we can react to your situation as football fans, because all football fans react to other teams' situations. So this is not an uncommon thing. But you got to try to make up a rule that we have no right to feel anyway. But you booed Trent. Booing Trent, who just won you a title, that's a bad look on you. And booing him after every touch. And I was watching Matisse. He was saying, like, he said, you're booing a guy who's touching the ball at home and jeopardizing his touches, and how you're trying to affect him negatively playing against your opponent. That's bananas. When he put it like that, I was like, that makes sense. Also, everybody got quiet when it was a free kick time because you wanted him to score the free kick, but you booed him on the field and you booed him for every touch. But now that he has a chance to win the game, you're like, so that just looks like terrible fan character for the people that booed. You know what I mean? That just look terrible. How do you feel about how the home fans, or some of them, not all of them, Liverpool treated Terence Trent, Darby Arnold?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't all of them. Like, it seemed like it was kind of like a mixed reception, although boos will always sound louder than people clapping or cheering or staying,
and I did see people
thing.
applauding, so I applaud those people who are applauding. I saw them.
Yeah, and it's like I said on last week's pod, like I understand people being upset. I understand people being disappointed, but to actually like display anger and like direct that towards him, I find strange. But people are going to feel how they want to feel, and looking in from the outside, though, I just do find it strange that this guy has given a good chunk of his career to his hometown club and won everything there is to win at that club. Won Champions League, won the Premier League, like won the other cups. Like, it's I get that they're mad he's leaving on a free, but it's like, would he have got the move if he hadn't gone on a free?
And why didn't you take the 25 mil in January?
Yeah, there's those questions there, and like, he didn't cost you anything though. Like, he cost you money and wages, but you didn't have to buy him. So it's not like you bought him for 80 million and then he's leaving on a free, leaving you out of pocket like that. And the wages, I'm sure he earned a lot of money in wages while he's there, but that's wages for doing a job which he did, and he did well. So yeah, I kind of find it a bit strange, but like I say, people are going to feel how they're going to feel. There's a lot of hypocrites in football as well. And Liverpool fans would not have anything to say if another player was leaving his boyhood club on a free to join them. So it is what it is, and people are going to feel how they're going to feel. I think it shows a lack of class to direct that level of hatred at a player for doing something which I don't feel warrants hatred for.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. And the fans, I love how fans try to act like they give more to the club than a player. Like no Liverpool fan has given more to Liverpool than Trent Alexander-Arnold. So if he wants to, like, he's been there, like going there as a kid every day since he was 6, like every day in a place to train, traveled to all the different youth games through up the level, through all the ranks, been on buses, in changing rooms. He's probably ate more at Liverpool or with Liverpool players than he's spent time with his family. And then he won you shit. And then he wants to go somewhere else. Like, you can't be like he's a traitor. Like, you're traitors to him. Like, how is he a traitor when he's like time-wise in his life? I would say he was given at least 60% of the time of his life, like physically to the club. And that's not even the mental part. So how much more from a person can you ask? You guys love stats? Figure that stat out. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get Chris Triani on. He's an Everton fan, so he's going to really have something to say about about Liverpool fans. Let's see if Chris has a horrible or a good background. He's at a show, so he's coming us for a show from a show, or is he going to come on at all? Is he just going to be a voice in a void? There you go. What up, fam?
What's up, y'all? How are we?
Good, we're good. I introduced you while you were signing on, so there was a round of applause from everybody watching.
I picked up on that.
So yeah, we were just talking about Trent getting booed, by entering the field, by retouch, and except when it was time to score the free kick that he could have won the game with. Everybody's like, be quiet. We want to win the game. What do you think as an Everton fan, how the Liverpool fans treated a Liverpool legend?
You know, it's funny you say that. Like, I was on Instagram and I saw all of the comments, and they were overwhelmingly kind of criticizing him. Like, their take was that like he kind of strung them along and was like, I only ever want to play for Liverpool and win trophies. And so their take was like, I don't know. Their take was like,
We lost you for a second.
oh,
you
sorry.
said their take was like what?
Their take was like, screw that guy.
No, he's gone again.
He's gone.
Wait, how am I gone again? Am I here?
Yeah, you're here now. But every time you say their take was, then
I feel like you don't like what I'm saying, Ian, and you're like,
I love what you're
kicking
saying.
me out.
I love what you're saying. I'm a Man United fan.
Yeah.
I feel like you've dialed in on some like 1G or something.
Yeah,
I really did.
Stop using no G, bro.
I'm on half G. I'm at a rock club on the south side of Chicago. And all the wattage downstairs is being used for like a rock band. So that's what's happening here. So
I agree. Like and Lee made some good points. I feel like we made some good points. And it's like some people are like he should never play in our shirt again. He's under contract.
He's under what?
He's under contract.
Yeah.
What do you mean you should never play for your club again? Get out of here.
Yeah, go ahead.
You don't want him to leave the club, but now you're saying he should never play for the club. Make up your mind.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Then we just talk about Chelsea, Newcastle right quick. And that was a good character game for Chelsea. Mm-hmm. Even though they lost, because Newcastle don't play around, bro. And they wanted to get Chelsea up there and swat them like a kitten does with mice when they see them. They know, and they were all over Newcastle. Newcastle was all over Chelsea and was making that game pretty much embarrassing. And then I don't know what is it. I always say his name right, Nicholas Jackson. I don't know what he was thinking, but he might as well would have been wearing red on his elbow, or just walk right off the pitch. After that, there's no way you're staying on the pitch after that. That's a red. It's unnecessary. I always defend him as a goal scorer. Chelsea fans be going in on him. He's a very integral part of the team, and I feel like the season kind of fell apart when he got injured. But come on, man, that's just ridiculous. Now you're not going to play for them for the rest of the season, and they're fighting for a Champions League spot. So that's just you lost your head for no reason. And but the effort that Chelsea put in the second half, just super commendable, man. Like they really like put that 11-man Newcastle squad, had them playing like they were a man down, and created opportunities and chances. So just character-wise, that's a good look for a Maresca team, you know. What do you guys think about the results of that?
I feel like Chelsea got bullied in that game. Like Newcastle came out and did what they did. They started quick. They got it in quick. They were pressing. They were energetic. Just doing the things that they do when they're at their best. And yeah, just Chelsea just couldn't cope with that. And I definitely agree on the Jackson sending off as well. Like he lined him up for that. But you could see from the look, he's like, okay, where is he? Yeah, he's getting it. And I think that they kind of made a good point on Match of the Day 2 here, where they kind of said that it didn't do him any favors that Botman kind of leant down into the movement, not intentionally, but he sort of made it easier for him to get him there, whereas he might have been trying to like hold him off. But nah, he's like you connect that violently in someone's head with an elbow. Yeah, you're walking.
Yeah, it's football. You know where you're at. Like we've all played at various levels at the bottom of the game, and not Lee, but me. Like we could do that. Like we could put it. I know where to elbow somebody at. That's So that was just terrible. But I don't know how Chelsea fans feel about the result, but definitely in the second half to play like that up there in Newcastle in that like hurricane atmosphere where that team just be on you, like good luck. Like that was good result.
Well, aren't you kind of thinking like as good as Newcastle are, like Chelsea's lucky? I didn't see the match, but I saw the highlights. Like, didn't they give up an early goal and then when
Two early goals within. Was it? Well, how early were it? Because I'm mixing. I know in my head I'm going to conflate the Arsenal game with the Chelsea Newcastle game.
Wow,
I think Tonali's goal was like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
it
was quick.
Yeah, like they gave up an early goal, and I actually thought it was going to be just in watching. I go, this could be a blowout, but I thought, I mean, still not good for Chelsea, but
you thought it was going to be embarrassing, right? It started to get that embarrassing feel because Tonali. First of all, we've been praising Lavia last week. Tonali like smacked right into Lavia, and the rest like I ain't calling shit, and then turnover, and then Chelsea, Newcastle has the ball goes to the right, comes back across, and Tonali puts it in the back of the net.
Right.
And then I'm trying to remember how Newcastle got their second goal.
Guimaraes with a deflected hit from distance late on.
Yeah. But yeah, they were all over Chelsea, and it looked bad, but like I said it too many times, good character building exercise for Chelsea to fight back in that game and only lose 2-0 because that last goal was like right at the end of the game. That was like by Guimaraes. Since you're here, Chris, let's talk about. We haven't talked about Everton in a minute, and you could tell us what you said in the chat. That's why are you here today?
I said I was going to show up so I could kind of like ease like yourself and I think Martin as the Spurs fan into like just kind of like give you guys an overview of what it's like to be a team in constant relegation battle. Sometimes you're gonna get points deducted. You're gonna have moments of hope followed by, losing to, Leicester City.
Mhm.
It's it's
Are we going
it's
to be suicidal? Are you
oh yeah.
suicidal?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. There's existential crisis like if I have one life to live, why did I choose this team?
Mhm. Is it like, do Everton fans feel like, I don't know how much you guys believe in reincarnation,
Yeah.
and maybe you do,
Yeah.
Lee. Did you say that you get to choose who you come back to be? And because it teaches you how to be better, like when you pass again. So Lee and and Chris, did you choose to be an Everton and Southampton fan to teach you humility in the afterlife?
Yeah.
I mean, it's taught me pain and suffering. I know that much.
Yeah.
And I hope Chris is ready for the most egregious 0-0 draw at Goodison on Sunday. I hope you enjoyed whoever scored the final goal at Goodison because it's happened already. It
Yeah.
has gone.
Yeah.
Like that's happened.
Yeah.
We are coming to shithouse a 0-0 draw again this weekend.
You guys, Southampton's going to do dice ball against Everton, and we're not going to. Yeah, it's Southampton are gonna definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's just classic.
Say that again. You wouldn't be surprised as what? You froze again.
I was saying like, God damn it, am I?
No, you're good now.
Okay, now I'm good. I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if the last goal ever at Southampton at Goodison was by Southampton. I mean,
That's hilarious. Southampton winning.
Yeah.
We did it. We did it at we played the final ever game against Man City at Main Road before they moved to the Etihad, and we won at Main Road. Michael Svensson, Swedish centre back, scored the final ever goal there for us.
Yeah.
So we've got history. We've done it before, but like I say, we are in 0-0 mode right now. That is what we're capable of. So that's what we're going for. I think
this is their football heritage.
Yeah.
You about to get football heritage at that old park.
Wait, our heritage, like Southampton's gonna get our football heritage, or
Oh,
like?
this is Southampton's football heritage. They will like score the last goal on your ground.
Yeah.
Some people's heritage is like they win multiple Champions Leagues or they win the league or FA Cups. This is Southampton's football heritage.
But I've seen talk of that they're going to keep Goodison like for like the Everton women's team, and maybe the under-23s. But if we score the final ever goal, if Jan Bednarek scores the final ever goal at Goodison, you should demolish that motherfucker immediately. Like the next day, you should. You should burn it to the ground. Like someone, like it should be bulldozers in immediately if that happens.
I think if we just lose to Southampton, that should decide the fate of Goodison Park. Like if we just lose, period. Like, we should just.
I can't wait to see the fans run on the pitch at the last game and steal mounds of losing grass as if they've won on that grass just to bring home as a momentum the souvenirs.
History steeped in tradition of losing.
Take the bad luck home with you.
They're like, we can smell the relegation battles on this.
There's a Stockholm syndrome too, like how your results have been, and you don't want to stay far away from that, even if you start like a new history or heritage. So this week Everton's on the road.
This week, actually we
and then your last game the week, or because I know we played Friday.
We were on the road.
This week you won at Fulham, right?
We won at Fulham, which was bananas. We did not deserve to win based on our performance in the first half, and then at the second half, we looked like a mid-tier Premier League soccer team. It was very uncharacteristic of us. Michael Keane scored a goal, which was wild.
Oh, yeah. He usually lets the other team get goals in.
Yeah. Yeah, they say like a Michael Keane hat trick is like he scores one, they score one, and then he like, shanks one or gets a yellow card.
That's funny. Oh, so you're on the road, and your last home game is
Yeah.
this weekend versus
Yeah.
Southampton, and then you have a game after that. But
Yeah.
that's going to be on the road. I get it.
Yes, that's exactly our last game ever at Goodison is this Sunday.
So you're going to try to batter Southampton?
I mean, ideally. I mean, I liked it. Last time I was on this pod, the last time I was on this pod and Everton were playing Southampton, I predicted it was my first and maybe my last time. I predicted Southampton was going to beat Everton. And Ian, you were like, nah, are you just like saying that? And I was like, no, this is very Evertonian in of us. And we gave Southampton their first win of the season. So, I mean, history is doomed to repeat itself. So,
Football heritage. All right, Lee, what do you think? You're going to take these fools out?
And like I say, we're gonna go there, like, because under our interim coach, all he knows how to do is defend and shithouse, and that is like that's our new style. We're not going to try and attack really. It didn't work for us at Leicester the other week when I went and watched us there. That was awful because we didn't even try and score, and we let Leicester score twice, and somehow, yeah, we didn't this week. But I think, yeah, I think we're just going to go there and try and spoil the party. That is what we're going to do, and we're going to take pleasure from that.
Lee, do you think like the playbook, like it literally like open it to page 18 for this Sunday and it just says shithousery and it's like sliding tackles, yellow cards, like do you think it's just like
Yeah, you saw what we did to City, and I don't think we'll have to do it even. We're not going to have to work as hard as we did against City to stop you guys. So I think, yeah, you'll see Aaron Ramsdale time wasting from like minute 2.
what do you mean? Dude, they're kicking it back to the keeper. Are you telling me that a lineup filled with Ashley Young, Seamus Coleman, Michael Keane, like we can't somehow score?
Wait a minute, you beat Fulham with that defense?
We had started with Michael Keane, and I mean sometimes I think Everton. We were talking about this in the chat. Like, is it just Everton? But like they live in this like game of like they live in this nostalgia of like, oh, we got to sign Ashley Young for one more year. We got to sign Michael Keane and Seamus Coleman. And I mean, I looked it up the other day. Everton are actually we've got one of the oldest average ages in the Premier League. We're like 28 years old is our oldest. We're like
the only thing new about you is your stadium.
Yeah.
That you're not even in yet.
Yeah, that we're not in yet.
Yeah, speaking of losers and bottlers and people who might not end up in the Champions League, we got Alex Avila. Hey, say hi to Lee.
What up, Lee? How are you, man?
Point snatcher Lee. You missed him open up his bottle of champagne, celebrating he wants to thank you for helping them not be the worst team in Premier League history, along with Derby. And thank you for your assistance. How you feel?
I told you before, Southampton, for City fans, they're like we like it. They're like our feeder club. We send players there to develop and stuff, and then they become good players, and we never get them back. So
hey, you get your sell-on clause.
Yeah, but it's just I don't like that, But yeah, I don't
those
know
those sell-on clauses about the only legitimate money you make. So
sell-on clause FC. So how do you feel?
How do I feel about what?
I mean, the draw, bro.
The draw.
Not being able to do anything. And Luis Diaz complaining? Ruben Diaz complaining in the media afterwards about how Southampton played.
To be honest, I turned up after the match. I turned it off. I was like, man, this is bad.
Should have turned it off during the match.
Yeah, no, like I kind of watched it just because it was just more like a question. I don't know. Sometimes when I'm watching lately this season, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, am I smarter than Pep? I don't think I'm smarter than Pep. It's just kind of like performing and kind of like performing with Ian. You're like, I'm not funnier than Ian, but how come I'm thinking that why this is not right. This is not right. And all of a sudden he's making the changes. And I'm like, why didn't you play these guys? And it's like when right when he put in Doku, he put in Sabinho, like the team looked a little bit different for like 70 minutes. It's just like I don't know what's going on with I don't know what the lineup was. Like
Hey man,
McAtee,
you're ignoring the fact that you have a big FA Cup final coming up, the biggest match of your season. Like
yeah.
you need to win to make something out of this season, and he could be like resting players for that. You think that's what it is?
No, it wasn't that. I think he just he got a bad selection of players and like he's something stubborn and he's like he doesn't wanna. I like when he. I would love if he recognizes in minute 20th. You know what? I messed up the lineup. Let me pull up these kids and stuff. Let me make some changes. You know, or something like that. Just he makes late changes and by the time he puts him in, it's too late. So we've been winning games with like 10 minutes left in the game, 15 minutes left, but that is not sustainable. I think he's been getting the tactics wrong through the whole season and kind of.
You think he's responsible for what's the name of that kid, O'Reilly, the black kid with the Irish name?
Yeah.
You think
Nico,
say again?
Nico Riley?
Yeah, you think he's responsible for the Nico Riley miss at the end of the game? It wasn't even a
No,
miss, but it was blocked or
it wasn't
saved.
a miss, but that kid said he's been informed. He's been after this year he's been like kind of like a nice fresh player that we're like excited. I'm like, oh my god, I don't have to watch Rico Lewis anymore. I don't have to watch uh Nunez and stuff, and he did not play him. So maybe he was resting him. Marmoush, I don't know. Like I love watching Marmoush with Haaland. I think he's just off the offer. They're both kind of like it reminds me a little bit of watching maybe it's very different, but when Salah and Mane were playing, like they're just very forward players, very like pacey, just not looking back and just taking shots when they can. And yeah, just I'm happy for Lee though. I'm happy for Lee that after the man I love when the stadium lights up and they all start singing when the Saints go marching and stuff. I don't know, man. It's just I do like the team, but it's just I wish he would have trashed them, you know.
Alex is a closet Saints fan. I know that much.
We all are.
I was kind of disappointed in a way though, because I captained Marmoush in fantasy football this weekend, and he didn't come on until like late in the game, and he hit the bar as well. So I was kind of disappointed in Pep for that.
And we all were. I think it's just I don't know.
So, is there anything you want to say about Southampton's performance, Leo? Did you say it? Did I miss it?
I mean, I'm kind of being jokey when I'm sort of celebrating it and everything because, like, it's still, like I say, we're still terrible. We are still awful for finishing, the season in the way we have. But I mean, we kind of did what we had to do in this game. But overall, when I look at this season, it's just one of like just pure disappointment. Like we have been so bad for so much of it. And I've traveled around the country watching Southampton at various away games. I've been to 6 away games this season, which is the most I've been to for a while. And I've seen 1 goal in 6 away games.
Wow.
And that was at Anfield, weirdly. And we still lost. But like I went to Leicester away, didn't score. Went to Villa away, didn't score. Went to Newcastle away, didn't score. Went to City away, didn't score. Went to Liverpool away, didn't score. Went to Chelsea away, didn't score. I mean, I've seen us against some good teams though. But
please tell me you're going to Goodison this Sunday, please.
No, I couldn't get a ticket. I couldn't get a ticket. It was too in demand. All our season ticket holders.
How much were they going for?
No, they're not allowing resale. Like people have to show ID when they collect their tickets and stuff. They're like preventing the touting. They're doing all of that. But I'm going to. We've got Arsenal at home on the final day of the season. So I'm going to be there, and I'm hoping that Arsenal still have second place to play for at that point because we'll do a shit house on them like we did on City, and we'll make the Arsenal fans angry if that's the case. But yeah, I'm going on the final day. I'm going to wave goodbye to the Premier League for another year on the final day of the season and bring down the curtain on this awful run that we've had.
It's been sad. It's going to be sad to see you go, but just hold on for a year. I'm a Man United fan and we'll be right down there with you. So we'll just do a championship podcast.
Yeah, I think I'd be in that too. We're talking about signing DCL again, Abdoulaye Doucouré, probably Ashley Young for his 43rd year on. So, well,
Ashley Young ain't that bad though. He learned that to actually play football in Italy after he left Man United. Yeah. So he's just old. People know he's old, but I don't think his pace has dissipated. I think they just think he's not the future, so let's find someone.
Right.
But I kind of think he's been good for you, except for one red card game.
Yeah.
Where he kind of blew it there. But every player does that every once in a while.
Yeah.
Speaking about bad, let's just talk about, the Man United game versus West Ham. Like when a team, when you're already down, actually we're kind of on a high because of the win midweek, but if there was ever a team for the taking, it's been West Ham all year, no matter who they play. And they came to us, and I could see their energy versus ours and how we came at them. And even at our half asses, I was like, we got this team. They don't got it. And then somehow they ended up beating us 2-0. And it's like, Mason Mount, where you at, fam? Like, you on the pitch, you're healthy, you did something midweek, a little something midweek versus Bilbao or Athletic Bilbao. Like, where was your Bilbao-ness this week? Like, where was that fight, that intensity, that ball winning? Where was that shit? Like, I forgot you were on the pitch, bro. And it's very disappointing, and it's dangerous because it's a coach firing performance. Like, we won't fire the coach because we were in the Europa League final, but you can't feel it's okay as a player to give that lack of energy, because then why would you give it for a full season next season? So is it the player, is it coach, is it both? You know, can we just all play? Now we have to get into Europe because that's the only time we play. You know what I mean? Now we have to. The only problem with playing Spurs is we struggle with Premier League teams, as you can see, even with West Ham. And this Europa League final is a Premier League final. It's a Premier League game. So I'm really worried about that. But yeah, it was a disgusting to watch, man, and to lose to West Ham. Like I really thought we had some points, and to leave that match with 0, like having a happy post-game press conference in our press area, that's terrible. Like, mentally we got to do better than that. So
yeah,
United down.
But they're about to win the Champions League, so
shit. I mean, are we?
Yeah. If you win it.
You think we're gonna win it after a performance like that versus West Ham?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Spurs, but I just know it's like
Spurs lost too. Spurs lost at home too to Crystal Palace, and like
they were really bad.
and I saw the highlights. First half, it was all Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace scored 4 goals in the first half. Only 1 was allowed, and then in the second half, Spurs tried a little bit and got countered, and Crystal Palace got their second goal. But you're at home, and Spurs, you could say, hey, we have a final coming up, but so does Crystal Palace versus Man City for FA Cup final. So why is Crystal Palace doing their thing and Spurs not? Like, also, Spurs didn't play a lot of people. He ain't taking no chances. I don't think he played Van der Ven. I don't think he played Romero. He did play Pedro Porro. So he's like not playing those guys, those defenders at all. He's not but I just think it's dangerous to not play people. It's as dangerous as playing an injured player as not playing people and then putting them in the highest stakes game of all time without some type of run out. So maybe he'll do it a little bit in the next 2 weeks, but yeah, you need to get your key players on the pitch.
I was telling a friend that that final reminds me. I don't know if you guys are familiar with NBA, but today is like the lottery bracket, like lottery something, like the losers, like the worst.
Mm-hmm.
They do like something that somebody gets the best player. I feel like that's kind of like you guys are like the worst two teams in the Premier League, and somebody gets lucky and goes to the Champions League. You know.
We don't care, bro. We don't care.
I know, like that's what I was thinking. That's explaining
It's like I
like,
said. It's like I said in the chat. I kind of feel like whoever loses that final should then get relegated from the Premier League. Let's add some more jeopardy to it. Winner gets Champions League, loser gets relegated along with the other 3 teams, and we let 4 come up from the Championship.
4, hilarious. Yes, we. The only reason why I haven't slit my wrist on the podcast is because we have this final, But this would be a super tragedy to like lose that final. Like we gotta do something.
Are you watching it with Martin? Are you guys getting together to watch it?
I don't know. Martin hasn't come over to see a game in a minute. When is May? Is it May 21st? When is that? Is that a weekend day? Is that a midweek day?
I think it's like a Thursday, but I'm not sure.
I think it's a midweek, yeah.
Because probably on the weekend is the Champions League final. Yeah, it's a Wednesday.
Mm.
Does that mean the Champions League final is the 24th?
Yeah, Champions League final is normally a weekend.
Yeah.
Let me have a quick look. Inter Milan, PSG, 31st.
Oh, 31st? Okay.
Yeah.
Which game
Saturday, is but it's in a little while.
Oh, yeah, we got 31st. So our game is on the 31st.
Nah, yours is 21st.
But the Champions League final is the 31st.
Yeah.
All right. I know you took it a little personal when Leicester scored 2 goals versus you, or some goals on you. But don't worry, they got a thing going. They scored 2 goals on Newcastle, on Nottingham Forest, who are at the top of the table fighting for a Champions League spot. You are not the only spoilers in the game. The game ended 2-2. I don't know if you guys heard, but Lee, could you explain what the Nottingham Forest owner did to the Nottingham Forest coach after the 2-2 draw against Leicester?
Yeah, so Marinakis, the Greek owner who owns Forest and Olympiacos, he came storming on, had it out with Nuno. I'm not sure exactly what he had it out about though, because some people were like, "Oh, it's about the fact that they've not," because Leicester Forest is a big rivalry in that region.
Oh.
They don't like each other, and obviously Forest would have been expected to win this game at home, especially when they're chasing, a Champions League spot, and a Champions League spot that's, it's really competitive in that part of the league right now to get that spot. So some people thought about that, and some people thought it was also about the forward Taiwo Awani, who he made like a horrendous collision with the post late on in that game, so much so that he had to go and have like emergency abdominal surgery.
Oh shit!
After the game, but he collided with a post. The physios went and treated him, and then said that, I don't know if he said he was okay or the physio said he was okay, and he went back on the pitch, and then he was clearly fucked up. And apparently the chairman might have been talking to him about that, being like, why did you let him stay on the field for as long as you did, kind of thing. So I don't know. But Nuno, I thought was quite, I don't know if you've seen his interview afterwards.
No, what did he say?
He kind of just sort of said about how, everyone cares about the club and everyone's trying to strive for, to be better in every game, kind of thing. And he just he was very diplomatic about it. He didn't stoke the flames at all. He tried to sort of just dampen it down, because some people online were like, if I was the manager, I'd be quitting immediately, kind of thing.
Sure.
And about how that sort of thing should be done in public, in private, which I agree with. Like, if you have a point to make, wait until he comes off the field and speak to him inside, because I think whatever was being said, and in whatever way it was being said, it's just a bad look. Like, even if there's no like real beef there, even if it's like, because the guy's Greek, I think everything looks angry in Greek. So, you know, I think whatever he was being said, whatever the context was, it's always going to look bad when it's done like that. So I think he needed to be smarter there.
Right. And this is the guy who's accused of spitting at a referee, the owner, right? And going after a referee, and
he's an emotional guy,
and
he's
an
emotional guy.
And in his first season back in the Premier League, got points taken away. So he's not really like the biggest rule follower ever. Yeah,
he's a hothead.
He's a hothead. Yeah, he's a Greek hothead. We got Neil Chakravarty. He's been traveling the world, been to countries, eating food I've never tasted before. It looks good on your
And I don't think you can.
I mean, some of it I can. I'm vegan, so as fresh as that meat and fish looked, I can't.
Neil's been living that White Lotus life.
I haven't even seen the show, but my wife has. But I hear it's getting close to that.
Was she with you?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, so you're definitely unbeknownst to you, she's been leading you the White Lotus way. You know what I mean? That's a great background you got going on. I love the way you set everything up. Everything's clean, crisp, and clear. So I give you that. We were talking about, how do you feel about the shipping magnet blowing up on Nuno? And then we could talk about Chelsea.
I didn't know what was his choice of profession. But yeah, I mean, I think one of the critical points in this whole story is the fact that he's not American made it a little bit more palatable. The fact that he's a European gave him a bit of a free pass, because I can totally imagine the optics if this was an American guy, a guy from Chicago. This story would have continued for much longer.
People from Chicago are too busy being Pope now.
Oh, yeah, they're taking European jobs.
Well, yeah, because the American owner of Birmingham just had a speech with, was it the coach? A performance speech with the coach or the whole team on the pitch?
Whole team at a cup final at Wembley, yeah.
Yeah. That's a no-no in America, so I don't know why they think they can go to England and do that shit. You know what I mean? Chris, you got something to say? Like he was going to say something.
Yeah, just like, that is such a, do we think that this whole welcome to Wrexham is infecting like the leagues? Like, I know Beckham and I think Gary Neville just bought a team in like the fourth league. Like, I don't know. Do we just think that every American is just thinking that they can just like own a team, have a documentary?
Hey, don't you be claiming Beckham? He's still ours.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I guess that's very funny that I did that. He's totally British, and yet he lives in Miami, and he owns Inter Miami, I think. You know.
Yeah, he was beefing with Minnesota on Twitter this weekend. Yeah, because Minnesota beat Miami, and they put a tweet out saying "Pink Phony Club."
Oh,
and Beckham clapped back. He was like, "Come on, guys, show some more class in this. Like, win with dignity."
Come on, Beckham. That's what you came back with. Come on, I'm disappointed. But actually, that's so Beckham. I wish he said something.
He's like Mr. Brand, isn't he? He's like Mr. PR.
Yeah.
He's been media trained to within an inch of his life.
Yeah. In that case, don't respond at all. Don't be telling them like respond with class, like, and get some younger players on that team. Maybe that'll help. You need some energy.
Some legs,
Yeah, you need some legs on that team. It's football, basic football.
Yeah, you can't be Unk FC.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Unk FC. Like Granunk.
Admittedly, they're going to be crazy, they're baller Unks, but they ain't got any legs left.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy, though, if, like what Chris was saying, a whole bunch of these American celebrities just start descending upon random UK towns. And this, like, not doing anything. It's almost like, what's that show?
Though.
But what's that show?
Leeds, Birmingham.
Yeah, but like Leeds, Birmingham are still, people have heard of those. Like, uh, I think because now they're gone, right? Those are going to be uh, uh, out of circulation. Now you got to go to the next level. Like, what's that place? Rotterdam.
No, no one wants to. No one wants to go to Rotherham.
I'm telling you, somebody will. Some B-lister will.
People forget Bournemouth are owned by Americans as well.
Yeah.
That's another big ownership group there.
Yeah, there's more than we can remember right now. That's how much there are.
Everton are now owned by Americans. The Friedkin Group is literally based in Houston. Yeah, and we actually just got the NBA star Jason Kidd is now a minority.
I saw, yeah.
Everton, so.
Proud owner of the #1 pick in this year's draft now after the lottery today.
Yeah.
But I mean, not even just like the ownership, like the Americans are getting everywhere. Like I don't know if anyone watched the Clasico at the weekend, but Travis Scott was there because his name was on the Barca shirts as part of the Spotify deal, and Terry Crews was in the VIP box as well with Thierry Henry.
Travis Scott didn't know what he was cheering for. He's just whipping his towel around.
Oh, he was in right? He was in full fan cosplay mode.
Cosplay, speaking of cosplay, how do you feel about your cosplay first half as opposed to your real play second half versus Liverpool?
Like I've been saying, this is a social experiment. So you will have various kinds of stuff happening without any, like, why do we play a better first half versus, why do we start games off bad versus, the second half things going well? It's not, we're trying to get to a place where we have confidence in the playing 11, confidence in the style of play. But there are so many fundamental issues with the squad and the playing 11 that it's tough to string it together for a good stretch of time. So, but I mean, having said that, like, I think what Maresca did after going down to 10 men, I think that's pretty cool. So I don't really feel that bad about the result. We need to win our next two games, or at least a win and a draw. I think if you get a win and a draw, I think that should be good enough to get Champions League football.
You got us and who else? Arsenal.
Nottingham Forest last day of the season.
Whew, and they're going to need that. And are we next?
Yeah.
Yeah, we stunk up the joint.
This Friday. Yeah.
This Friday. So, yeah, we have to do something.
So, Villa are on the same amount of points, but we have a far better goal difference. So, but I don't really see Villa winning both their games because they're against United and Tottenham. So, we both have one team in common, United. And they also played Tottenham. So, and it's so funny, like it's just before and after. One game's before the Europa League final, the one game's after the final. So
you mean we have a game after the final? I thought both our games were before. No,
final game of the Premier League is the 25th, I think, which is the Sunday.
Oh, so Spurs got that exemption to play Friday and get like a week off. Or there's not a week off. They got some time off. Because Spurs last week, Villa fans were mad because the league gave Spurs some type of like rest your legs exemption that they wouldn't give Villa when Villa was in the Champions League.
You guys are playing on Friday, both of you guys.
Right. They're playing Forest on Friday?
No, they play Aston Villa on Friday.
Right. And then let's look at this timetable. So we play Friday.
City and Newcastle have pretty much sealed the Champions League spot. I think now it's down to one spot with three of us: Villa, Forest, and Chelsea.
What about City?
Well, Newcastle plays Arsenal. I think they play at Arsenal. But I don't know.
I mean, City's not guaranteed yet.
See, the thing is, they have.
Come on, Lee.
Because like, Chelsea and Forest are going to play each other, right? So somebody's going to drop points.
It depends if Arsenal, I think, is going to try. City has to play who?
City have got Bournemouth and
Fulham.
Fulham,
Yeah.
which ain't easy.
Yeah.
The Bournemouth game's on the Tuesday after the FA Cup final, so they could be a little bit tired.
Oh shit.
But City's actually the most informed team in the last month or so.
Even after dropping points to Southampton.
Yeah.
You think?
I gotta hop
All right. Thanks, Chris.
the toffees. Later, y'all.
Yeah, we're talking about the top of the table. Get out of here.
Yeah, I better leave as well then. I'm going to.
Nothing to contribute.
You're not even in the Premier League, Lee, so you can just stay.
Lee, you're an outside observer now.
Yeah, Lee's not on the podcast next season. See y'all. Fight.
Damn, Everton's spraying.
See you on Saturday, Lee.
Yeah, we're going to ruin that party.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, can we guys talk about the champions, like the games in the week?
What, the El Clasico? What are you saying?
No, like the Champions League. Like this happened this week.
I mean, yeah, but let's just finish your discussion about are you gonna actually make Champions League? I feel like you're in.
Yes.
Actually, you're below Newcastle. Shit. This is not guaranteed.
They have a good gap to sixth, right? I mean, they have a 2-point gap, but yeah, I don't see at this stage, a 2-point gap is huge because there's just 2 games left to make up points.
Right.
And they play Bournemouth and Fulham. So,
but you know, the key thing that you guys just said is like that game after a final. So when is the FA? So there's an FA Cup game and then the final? The FA Cup final?
We play this Saturday, then we play on Tuesday.
That's close. I feel like you're good though. I'm looking at Aston Villa.
So Aston Villa play Tottenham before the final, and then they play United after the final.
We'll give them anything they want after the final if we win it. They're gonna have their way with us. That's like if we win the final, that's their 3 points. So
I wanted Liverpool to win so bad because it would have been fun to have Arsenal at 67 points, like at 1 point away from Newcastle and all of that. Yeah.
But Ian, you think you guys are going to try this weekend before the final?
I feel like we have to. We have to build some confidence going into the final. And here's the thing, like the only thing we've done this season is been tough on top table teams. Like we've had good seasons where we lose to the top 5 or top 6. But this season, we've given Liverpool trouble, we've given Arsenal trouble, we've given Man City trouble.
Well,
you tied
like,
versus us.
This year, like during 2025, you have only beat relegation teams. You guys haven't won against any in the Premier League. You guys haven't won a game against any other one that the relegated teams. You beat Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton this during 2025.
Yeah, but we also knocked Arsenal out of
that's true.
a cup.
That's true.
We won some games with Liverpool. We tied with Liverpool at Liverpool.
You tied against Man City too.
Tied against Man City too, and we beat Man City too.
Neither team has made 40 points.
Chelsea hasn't beat us this year. They came to us. They didn't beat us, and they're 5th. Aston Villa didn't beat us yet. And I would say Forest barely beat us. They had 1 shot on goal, and they beat us.
That's the thing. Like United's XG versus their opponents has been crazy, which suggests that you are like not playing badly, but you cannot take your chances.
Let me explain it to you. We have a 20-year-old named Garnacho who's not a fully fledged player who's played too many games. Yeah. Then we have Xerxes injured, Ahmad just came back, and Højlund who's off. And then we have 3 strikers thriving at other teams in the league and different leagues.
And Anthony is scoring banger for Betis every week.
Even if he did half of that.
3 strikers?
So what?
Who are the 3 strikers?
So we have Anthony thriving at whatchamacallit. Like we're paying for him. We're paying for Rashford, and we're paying for Sancho. And these are substitutes. These are possible substitutes. So we have no substitutes. So these are the so we have Hoyland and Xerxes injured. Ahmad just came back and Garnacho. So the guys are actually creating for people who don't have the experience to finish. So like even if we had those subs, a half-ass Rashford, we'd still be a little bit further up the table. Anthony playing rushed football in the Premier League, we'd still be a little bit better. And Sancho not even wanting to be with us would still do a little bit better because he'd be trying to get somebody to buy him. You know what I mean? So we have no subs. And we had injuries.
Sancho's probably going to play a lot in the
So
next 2 games. Sancho's probably going to play the next 2 games.
Why you say that?
Because with Jackson being out, I have a feeling Neto's going to have to play as the false nine or whatever.
Is it true that Chelsea are paying 5 million not to have Sancho?
Oh yeah, that's the breakup fee.
You think that's going to go down? I'll take the 5. I'll take the 5 and then we'll sell him.
I mean, that's
because
essentially a loan fee because we didn't pay a loan fee. So the point is, if you're not buying him, then they're like, hey, then you got to pay the loan fee.
Yeah, fee kicks in.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, Maresca's, that left wing spot is pretty much up for grabs. It has been up for grabs all season. And I think what has happened in the last couple of games is like Noni Madueke has been tried on the left. He's been a right winger last 2 seasons at Chelsea. He's suddenly been tried on left wing. He's done pretty well. So it might well be that he gets that spot and then Neto. So between Neto, Tyreek George, and I know, like I'm not that convinced by Neto either, but he has sprung ahead of Sancho in this
but he shouldn't have. I don't think he did it on merit. I just think it's a preference thing. And also my confusion with Maresca is like, look at Sancho at Dortmund, and most of the Dortmund success was on the right. And every team gets Sancho puts him on the left. Every team since Dortmund has put Sancho on the left. He can play both, but most of his goals and assists for Dortmund were on the right. So I don't even know why United put him on the right. No, we had him on the right, but I think he should be right for you, like instead of Neto. Neto is still expect decision speed can also.
The thing with Neto versus Sancho is
from
Maresca's point of view. The thing with Neto versus Sancho is from Maresca's point of view. Unless there is unless Sancho is like really clearly outperforming Neto, if things are equal, you kind of have to give Neto more game time because he's actually a player to you versus somebody who's on loan and you don't really know what his features in the club.
Also, it depends like what you want those players to do in a way, because managers now seem obsessed with inverted wingers. I see barely any managers playing their wingers on the side where they could go on the outside. Everyone wants them to cut in and have the fullback overlap and doing all that. Whereas like Sancho is right-footed, so when Sancho plays on the right, he should be going down the outside.
Maresca wants his wingbacks inverted.
Maresca wants everybody to invert.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wants his fullback to invert. He wants his winger to invert.
He outverted Caicedo to a right back. He inverted. He inverted Reece. And what do you feel about Reece James, your captain, being on the bench?
I feel like there's such a lack of honesty about his what is actually happening with Reece James. Because if it is actually a tactical choice that
he doesn't favor him. He doesn't favor him straight up.
No, but does he not favor him, or does he not favor overlapping with fullbacks? That's the reason why he doesn't favor Reece. Because it's not like he's playing Gusto there either. He's preferring a guy who can essentially come into midfield. This guy said it. Now, whether that is because the fitness team, medical team has done their analysis on Reece and said that hey, he can't be starting games right now, or he can't be playing 45, 60 minutes. So your strategy has to not essentially include him. So I just wish like at some point, maybe at the end of the season, we get some honesty.
Sit back a little bit,
Like
Neil.
Reece James,
Neil,
if Reece is
Neil,
fit.
sit back a little bit because your sound is being affected. I think it was better when you were back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is it good? Is it better now?
No, I think your Wi-Fi is acting up a little bit. Just it's sounding a little shaky. But go ahead. And then Alex, we're gonna get to the Champions League. Just give me one sec.
No, it's okay. Now I have a question about Sterling because I forgot that Sterling. I forgot where he plays now. He plays for you guys, right, Neil?
Plays for Arsenal, but we pay him.
He doesn't play for Arsenal.
Yeah,
he's on the team, but he doesn't play for him.
I kind of liked him at City, but during the tour with Chelsea, there was some City fans trying to get his jersey signed from him, and he said no. He's like, no, I'm not signing anything City related. So we're like, all right, dude, you're done. I wish you the worst.
Isn't that a tough position to put him in? Like, he's at an Arsenal game, and some City fans wanted him to sign their jersey. Is that what you're saying?
No, it was when he got signed to Chelsea
game.
It was when he was signed to Chelsea in LA in the UCLA facilities and stuff. People were trying to get his jersey signed, and he refused to sign anything City related. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, you put him in a tough position, but I think he's just sign it. You know, no one's gonna like.
Nah, that's a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing. So
his fans are crazy. Have you guys talked about what's happening with Trent Alexander-Arnold?
Yeah, we did. But what's your input?
Yeah. I feel like fans are. I mean, I feel like fans should sometimes try and put themselves in the players' shoes. Like we would all essentially in our respective jobs do that. So, and I it's also like he's won you now. He's given you the best parting gift any player can. He's winning you something that you've barely won in the last 30 years. And who knows when you'll win another. He could be the guy who's won, he's literally won it all. Okay, let's come I think you should just end it on good vibes, but I feel like the whole tribalism just doesn't let a lot of people get past it.
Well, he said it best: it's hypocrisy, and you call him a traitor, but he made sure that they won the league, and he's a very integral part of them winning the league. But it's almost, I know Liverpool fans are doing this right now. They're erasing his history and the input that he did this season for them to win the league. Like, I feel like a month, it'll take like only a month from now before they're like, we would have won without him. What did he do?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, I can see that coming. Like, we were already. It was Slot. They had Gravenbach back there picking up for. They're gonna forget all the assists, or like how much at the end of each game when it was tied or they were down that he linked up with Salah, and they made something happen. They're gonna erase it all. But I remember that shit, and I'm gonna bring that shit up. That's not happening on my watch.
And like Liverpool fans have spent like 5-6 years fighting anybody who's dared to suggest that Trent has a problem defending.
Oh yeah.
And
yes.
absolutely dismissing everybody saying that no, Trent's got no problem. Klopp said it. Trent's not got a problem. So of course it must be right. And he's the best right back in the world. He's the best right back ever since Cafu. Best fullback and all of that. But 3 months down the line, whoever's going to play right back next season, they're going to say he's better than Trent.
Yeah.
They're already saying
going
to say that.
They're already saying
was that Bradley?
Bradley.
And he's Connor Bradley.
And he's good.
Bradley.
He's legit.
Yeah, although he, like, they're saying Trent can't defend. Connor Bradley just stood there and let Trossard put that cross in onto Martinelli's head for that first Arsenal goal. So admittedly, he was very good before that, but he's young, so he's going to be inconsistent, and people need to be like on board with that. I think Liverpool will go and sign someone. They'll go and sign Frimpong from Leverkusen or someone. They'll bring in a right back, I think.
Yeah, there's rumors that that's who they want. What did you want to say about Champions League now, Alex? It has nothing to do with you. You're not in Champions League. Why do you even want to? I'm kind of thrown.
just thought you guys watched the games, and we're gonna talk about him. But
I would talk about Champions League, but did you see El Clasico, which was a version of the Champions League, but in La Liga on was it Sunday?
You know what? I actually forgot that he was playing because I really wanted to watch the Arsenal doing the the tunnel for Liverpool, and he wasn't because otherwise, if I didn't have my TV on and I see in the corner that he's the notification, I would have forgotten about the Clasico. Yeah.
Well, El Clasico, did you like the 4-3 Inter game versus Barcelona? Well, Barcelona did it again, but this time they had the 4 and not the 3. And Liverpool, and to be honest, Real Madrid blew 2 open goals at the end of the game to win that game. 5.
Would have been 5-4.
And also 5-4, yeah, 5-4, yeah.
But then Barca had the goal disallowed as well. That would have made it 5-3. That was just a crazy game of football. For Real Madrid to steam into a 2-0 lead with Mbappe, I was like, oh wow, this is something. And then by half time it's 4-2. That was crazy. Second halves are always gonna fail to live up to first halves like that. You're never gonna get a game where the whole 90 is it. Although actually Barca Inter probably came close because that was just nuts throughout in the Champions League. But yeah, just Barcelona just committed to entertaining the world this past week. And I'm just happy to get a chance to watch Yamal play whenever I can, because I'm like, this is mad that this guy is doing this stuff at his age. This is the next best player in the world we're watching right here.
What do you guys think about the Lamine Yamal comparisons to Messi, being that he's played more games, scored more goals at this age than Messi did? But look at Messi's history and what he's done. Do you think at this point he's better, or maybe Barcelona didn't need Messi this early at 17? Because I saw Messi play at 17 and he was nice, but he got injured a lot. It took him he had a year and a half in. Think about these comparisons.
I think it's hard making the comparisons because Messi's had such a long career of just the success he's had. It's easier to make it later on down the line once we've seen what Yamal can achieve. But I'm just glad we've got another player like this to enjoy now for the next 15 years, maybe, or however long he's going to be on the scene for.
1 year.
It's
because that's Arsenal think 1 year is Lamine Yamal. Every time Arteta don't put him in the game, how come he didn't put him 1 year? Listen, these are two different. Arsenal fans kill me. The way they're mad. You're talking about Champions League. They're like, he didn't put the 1 year in. But that 1 year ain't gonna do shit. He's gonna potentially, futurely be good. But stop, Arsenal fans. Stop. Sorry. They just piss me off when they come.
So funny.
So Ian, I watched a lot of Neymar when he was coming out of Santos, young Neymar, and my opinion, I think Neymar was a little bit better than Lamar, but he was just happened to be different leagues. He's doing it in Europe. Neymar was doing it in South America, so it would have been cool to see him actually doing that in a bigger stage. But just he was destroying players the way Yamal is doing it, but it just happened to be different leagues,
Can I easily refute that? Lamine Yamal started playing when he was 15 for Barcelona. Xavi is the one that put him on. I think he's already won a league, and he's going to win the league again. And I feel like La Liga is a better league than the Brazilian league because all the best 100%. Brazilian talent leaves. But the thing that makes Neymar look good, and I love Neymar, I don't shit on Neymar ever, is just he was fancier. But Yamal is a little less flair player. He has flair, but he's way more effective in a better league. And he just won Europe, the Euros. So I would just put him a little bit ahead, but there's no shame in either one.
My worry for Lamar is
I'm just surprised Chelsea didn't buy Lamine Yamal. Like they buy every kid. Like, how do you not have him on your team?
I think he snuck up on us. Like he blew up before our guys could get their hands on him. Because
I don't think anyone was getting him out of Barca.
Yeah, like no, like but imagine if he spent another season in the academy without getting a shot, then it would have allowed certain other clubs to come in the picture.
Yeah.
But like we got, we're excited about our own kids coming out from.
You're never gonna use them.
Various. No, I think Estevao and Kendrick Paez. I think they're they might get a shot. I don't know much about that the Portuguese guy. What's his name? I keep forgetting. But anyway, I think the problem with the Lamine Yamal, it's not a problem for right now, is the number of games that he has played at such a young age. I have a feeling he's gonna join that line of players who are like done by 30, 31.
Yeah.
Like the Wayne Rooney's, Cesc Fabregas, Eden Hazard. Because when you start, even Sterling, actually, we're just talking about Sterling, right? The number of miles these guys put in at such an early age, like Messi and Ronaldo were outliers not just because of their skill, but also the fact that they could actually start early and end late.
Not a lot of players started kind of like at normal ages. Like at least when Ronaldo was at United, they used him sparingly until he got good, and so it was a normal integration. Same thing for Messi. Like I saw him at 17, and I was like, "Who's this fucking kid?" But then he disappeared with an injury. I think I saw him like in a Champions League match, and then he was injured for a minute, and he would come back in and out. So then that kind of preserved him.
Basically, you're saying they went playing like 30 games at the age of 16, 17.
Yeah. But Lamine Yamal definitely 100% is putting that mileage.
Let me quickly check when was the first season these guys played? Like 30.
No, I think like with Yamal it's kind of what you mentioned, right? He kind of carry Barca. Like Messi didn't really have to. I mean, we all know Messi was amazing, but just he didn't have to step up and be.
Yeah, Messi. He had Ronaldinho there.
Yeah.
He had Iniesta, Xavi, Ronaldinho there. Barca's crazy because like Gavi, who like there's players at Barca, like Barca played who the other day? What's the black kid's name? Who was gonna be their next Messi? And he barely plays now. He played
Ansu Fati.
Ansu Fati. So like in 2-3 years, they've gone through like Pedri was gonna be the future, and he's still an integral part of the team. But then Gavi came along and said, "Oh, it's Gavi," and then he's still integral.
But that's kind of why, because they don't have the star power they used to have in the past, so they need someone. They don't have the.
No, but I'm just saying that these are really.
Yeah, they're good players.
Like top level. It's a good thing. Everybody's killing that guy who was the GM or what do they call those positions in Spain on the football club? Bartolo. Remember the guy?
Bartomeu?
Yeah, like he got Barcelona so broke that they have to use their
yeah, he's a hero now, man.
He should be a hero. Like
take him out of jail.
He made them not be able to afford to buy players, and now all these kids are fucking stars. And Barcelona saved money. Indirectly, he's helped this club a lot.
So I was just looking at the numbers. Lamine Yamal this season has already played 2,586 league minutes. So he's definitely going to cross 2,600, right, in the next 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Ronaldo, the first league season he played 2,600 plus minutes was at the age of 21. Messi at the age of 22. Mm-hmm. So and Yamal's doing it at age 17. So
And on
he's
top
like a
of that,
4-year,
you gotta
5-year head start.
you gotta still add
Mhm.
the like your national teams, because those Ronaldo and Messi were not playing as many games at that age, you know.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Why weren't they? Because they were not
Yeah,
like they weren't being trusted, right?
Yeah,
They're playing for
Yamal
massive clubs.
Yamal is like one of the main people on the Spanish squad now. Like, and those guys weren't like. I think Ronaldo had Figo, and even Messi was in the Olympics around Yamal's age, with Sergio Aguero winning the Olympics. Like Messi won the Olympics like I think at 19,
no, Messi won the Olympics at, I think, at 16. Like
16.
they went to the first Olympics, him and Agüero, and Messi didn't go to the second Olympics. So Agüero won the Olympics. I think went to 2 Olympic finals twice, Agüero, but Messi just once.
This one's all right.
Yeah.
What do you guys? There was another comparison. I was like Messi versus is it Rooney? Because Rooney at 17
Oh
was
yeah,
doing
yeah.
this.
Rooney is still my most favorite 16-year-old footballer.
Hilarious.
Because Rooney came out 16 looking like he's 20.
He was a
And
bald
I
man with
remember
kids at 16.
That goal on his debut
Yeah.
against Arsenal as well was just crazy.
Yeah, and that's at 16. And we forget that he played for Everton before that.
Yeah.
But that was a man's goal, like class.
Yeah. Like the way he would like shrug off defenders, he's not a 16-year-old.
Uh, trying to think. Did we you want to do fantasy league?
Yeah, let's have a look. I just about managed to stay ahead of Martin
Thank
this
God.
week. Well, I say just about. The gap's still actually quite large. But he got slightly more points than I did overall this weekend. But I built up a decent gap last week, so it's really going to come down to these final 2 weeks now. So let me just tell you what the exact gap on that is. Wait for it to load. Here we go. So I'm in 16th, Martin's in 19th. We both slipped down one place each this weekend. But yeah, I got 46 points. Martin got 51. So Martin profited from having Chris Wood and Mbumo in there. Martin left so many points on his bench, though. He benched Mikolenko, who scored. He benched Raul Jimenez, who scored. So yeah, Martin kind of suffered a little bit there. Whereas I loaded up on Man City. I thought Man City were going to be a problem for us. But I mean, but I put Edison and
Speaking of
Gvardiol
traitors,
I put Edison and Gvardiol in, so I got 2 clean sheets out of them, so that was okay. I got an assist off Elanga, an assist off Murphy. Unfortunately for you, I got a goal off Bowen. So I fancied him to do something at Old Trafford. But yeah, at the top of the league, we are still, as you were, Ahmad Zekri number 1, Brian Avina number 2, Joseph Duda number 3. So it's there's only 8 points in it between 2 and 3. So Brian and Joey have got a little battle going on there. So that'll be interesting going into these final 2 games. My only goal, like I've said all along, is finish above Martin. So that's what I'm fighting for, and I'm currently 29 points, 19 points ahead.
Should be able to hold on to that. Just pick.
No, 19
just
can
pick
go
his
in a week.
picks.
No, I don't want to pick his picks.
Pick his picks. Whatever he wins, you wins. Keeps you ahead of him. Your team right now is playing really defensive football. They're playing low block. You have to low block the rest of this 2 games in fantasy league. Pick his picks and stay ahead of him. Don't take no chances, bro.
That's true.
All of us need this from you. Like what? We're your fans. We're your fantasy league fans. You know. We want the manager to make the right decisions for us. Does anybody else have any topics they want to cover? Even if you want to brag about your trip, where did you go, Neil?
So I went to a couple of places in Thailand and then went to the Philippines. Spent some time there. watched a local basketball game in Philippines. I actually have friends who play college basketball there, so that was part of the
Yeah, yeah.
reason.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
College basketball?
Yeah, they used to
Is
play
the
college basketball
Philippines where
here,
like
and
is the Philippines where like Dwight Howard is playing now?
oh, is he? Is he playing pro there?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he's
he
in like
must be.
the Philippines like pro league or something. Just
Could be
Hilarious.
like
dunking on
because I've
Filipino
seen some
dudes.
clips from seen some clips from their pro leagues, and it's absolutely crazy.
Mhm.
Well, he
I
plays
was,
for Taiwan Leopards. It's Taiwan. He's in
Oh,
Taiwan.
he's in Taiwan.
No, yeah, close by.
that makes sense for the Dwight Howard. What how was the college basketball game?
It was pretty good. It was like a preseason game, but it was like a packed, uh, you know, arena. They have the one of the interesting things is they have a preseason that's almost as long as the actual season. They have a 6 month preseason, and everybody apparently takes it
What?
seriously. Yeah, I was like, why
What?
don't you just ease off? My friend he was like, well, if one, the thing is nobody eases off, so nobody can. Like it's almost like mutually not beneficial for anybody.
That
So
is crazy. You might get
yeah,
injured winning the preseason.
yeah,
Is there a
yeah. Like
tally?
and so that the game I saw was actually it was not it was even though it was preseason, it was still part of a cup. So
Wow. That's why. And I guess they're like, we can make money from this. Why would we stop making the
yeah, they
money?
have sponsors
It's
and
like the
everything. Everything
Mexican
has
league.
a sponsor. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like the Mexican league. It's like how many cups do they have in a season?
Two
Three?
cups, yeah,
Two?
like yeah, basically three cups because they play the US, they play the MLS, like a little cup in between them.
How many hours do they play? Like the Europe is complaining. How much is because Brazil does the same thing too, right? Don't they got like
Brazil, they play the state championships and then the national championships. So like all the clubs that are in like Rio State will play in the Rio League, and then they'll play in the National League after that.
bananas?
that's tradition. That I'm pretty sure people have tried to get rid of the state leagues,
Mm.
but
The
there's
clubs will
been
rotate though,
some
because like
pushback. Yeah.
the state leagues will be like there'll be some of the top teams. So the Rio one, you got like Flamengo and Fluminense in there. Then you'll have like some teams who, once it goes into the next stage, they were playing in like the third division. So you got all
Mhm.
these guys in the same division. I feel that's kind of cool in a way.
How many games is that?
I'm not sure. I think
'Cause-
they're slightly smaller than the National League, but I'm not 100%
I
sure.
think it's probably knockout games. Yeah.
So like it's an FA Cup vibe.
No, it's like a league.
Oh, see,
Oh, it's a league. Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
that's bananas, yo.
Oh.
That's a lot.
So do the top players play, or do they just let the kids play, or like the reserves play?
I think it's mixed depending on who they're playing.
Yeah. Although in Brazilian league, the reserves are probably the older guys. The top stars are all the kids.
Yeah.
Some
So
30-year-old who gets only to play in the state championship.
So when Alex was talking about Neymar and how good he was just playing against. He was just clowning state players.
Yeah.
Like having that footage is like a
He
bunch
was
of
making his
state
highlight reel. Yeah.
young kids that they're not even in the division he's in. He's just killing
Yeah,
them.
he's playing the Rio police team.
Yeah, 'cause for
Here
a
we go.
while, like it was just Neymar clips all over the place. Like here in
Yeah,
it's just that's
you should see my clips against the states in there. It's fantastic, amazing football.
So I got it up here. So the Rio State one, because every state is different, but the Rio State one is 12 teams, and they play each other once on a single round robin, and then the top four go into like a final stage, and the 5th to 8th place go into like another little separate tournament.
That's crazy. And then they
What's like
have
do you have any names of like the lowest team? Are they
Yeah,
some really random?
so the 12 teams that were in it this year were Flamengo, Fluminense, Vasco da Gama, Boa Vista, Botafogo. Who else there? Volta Redonda finished second. I don't even know who they are. Sao Paulo, Correa, Nova Iguachu, Madureira, Marica, Portuguesa, Bangu. Like some of these teams, like like traditional Brazilian powerhouses. But yeah, it's like everyone from across the state of Rio.
And then they have 2 Copa de Libertadores tournaments to be into if you're in the top. Is it?
You got the Libertadores and the
Sudamericana.
That's the one, yeah.
So that involves Mexico.
Mexico and MLS they don't play in those teams anymore.
So who plays it? So they have the Copa America.
All the CONMEBOL teams.
Copa America is the national teams. Libertadores is club teams.
Yeah.
For South America.
But I thought South America had 2 Libertadores finals. Where did I get that from?
Because
it's like
the Europa League and the Champions League. It's a Sudamericana and Libertadores.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not bad then.
Yeah. It's got like a Europa League equivalent.
The interesting thing now is that they're doing the World Cup, the Club World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And those teams were basically saying that they deserve more spots than the teams from like Mexico and MLS and stuff. But obviously, like they're like, fam, this is the tournament is happening in the US. Like, there's no way you're not gonna take spots from Mexican teams or the US teams, you know.
What team did they just kick out?
Yeah,
Leon.
So they're gonna have a playoff, right?
Yeah, America plays LFC and on the 31st they're gonna have for the spot, yeah.
For a spot for a tournament where they just pick teams, all of a sudden they're gonna have a team play they were in.
No, all the teams won legit. Like all the teams had a reason behind it. For example,
what did Chelsea win to get in there?
Champions League against 1 year. I don't know when it was when they beat us.
But that was.
So 4 years ago. This is going to happen once every 4 years, right? So the champions of the previous 4 years there.
So the 4 recent Champions League, the latest 4 Champions League winners are in there. But those teams are night and day.
Yeah, they're not good anymore. Like, we're not even the same club anymore. So
yeah, some of the Chelsea players weren't even born when you won the Champions League. Like, how are they in it now?
We've gone through like 15 managers since then.
Yeah,
and that's kind of
and owners,
because like that's applicable. Think about it like that, right? Like we're talking about Europe, we're like still European teams. Chelsea still Chelsea, Madrid still Madrid, City still City. But we're talking about like teams from South America who are just like have new players, new owners, like Seattle Sounders who like a completely different roster. Or stuff like that. So it's just, or those teams from Asian teams who like, again, like it's like you said, like those teams are not the same team that won whatever they want.
Postecoglou was an Asian coach when that Asian team got in that Champions League club final. Now he's over at Spurs struggling to win the Europa League. Like, this is crazy.
I wonder, like, I guess we'll find out during the course of the tournament. What level are these teams going to play at? Like, is it going to end up having any degree of prestige? Because usually when you're just starting off any competition, it's almost impossible to get any level of
I think they're going to, because I think the winner, I think the total price of that thing is like 100 million, right? For the winner.
Exactly. So the price tag, I feel like, will add, like, clubs will be forced to play some of their best players.
Like you're like all the Arsenal fans, like Ian said, like all delusional, saying like we won 70 million for competing in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say Chelsea wins that thing. It's like you just won 100 million in a month.
Real Madrid are trying to sign Trent early to get him.
Play in it.
They want Xabi Alonso to be managing for it, and they want to pay a fee to get Trent in early for this as well.
But I don't know why any club would make it easier for another club to do that. Like, it should be way higher than 5 million.
Whatchamacallit?
I think we have the same issue with Esteval. I think we wanted him earlier, but I don't think.
Is that an age thing?
In fact, I have a feeling he might actually be playing. I might be wrong, but I have a feeling Esteval is going to be playing for his club, Corinthians. Oh, sorry, Palmeiras.
versus you guys.
Well, we are not in the same group, but who knows, right?
Right.
In the knockouts.
The winner of LAFC in America, they play Chelsea on the I think on the second game of the second game or third game of the tournament.
Is Giroud still at LAFC?
Last time I checked, but I don't know.
So he
I
might
don't
end up
understand.
playing Chelsea.
The thing's like I don't understand like really well like the MLS calendar, so I don't know when players' contracts end or whenever that they have like a different
No.
structure.
MLS, they're all contracted, right? It's not the middle season of season for them.
Oh, that's true.
It's in the middle of the season.
That's true. Their season still going right now. Yeah.
Yeah, season's only a few weeks old.
Yeah.
So
you're
what?
right.
So what's MLS going to do? Stop playing to play this tournament?
That's
they're
what
going to
they do every year.
reschedule those teams. It's not every MLS team, right, that's playing.
Yeah,
What are they
only
going to do?
two or three.
MLS is just going to be
MLS only has Miami and Seattle Sounders.
And so Miami, Seattle, and LAFC are going to disappear from the MLS schedule for like a month, and then somehow make up those games later on.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Yeah.
That is wild, bro. That is wild.
They tried doing a tournament like this, kind of like this, a few years back, and Man United actually skipped the FA Cup that year.
Did we make $100 million?
I don't think so.
This is a great way for Chelsea and Man City to avoid FFP by winning this.
Apparently, like back when we were trying to find a manager,
your women's team back with this money.
Hey, we'll spend it on, and to do what?
I don't know. I don't know why you sold it to yourself in the first place.
Yeah, we're an accounting firm.
Wait, what was the league they were trying to do one time? Like they were trying the Super League, right? Super League or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I was reading like FIFA's getting ideas of doing this kind of like but it's like no, like that this doesn't work.
They're basically trying to fix it so there's no time for a Super League, and then paying teams Super League money to stay in FIFA and UEFA. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, there's that. Like, they leaving no room for an outside force or organization or group to. Is Real Madrid in this cup?
Yeah. So I think from Europe, it's Chelsea, Madrid, City. Who's the fourth? Well, Madrid won it twice, right?
I think PSG is also on it.
Yeah, they are.
Is it because they were runners-up? Why were they?
It's random.
FIFA basically put who they wanted to put in it. They found excuses to.
They did some weird calculations for like some teams, like basically like your coefficient of points, like if you play, it was just it's like Lee said, they put in kind of
because
if we see like this,
I guess PSG, because there was an extra
Qatar money.
This is a boy band tournament. This is like let's put in this is a great casting for a tournament in America.
Okay. So I got it. I got the list here. So Chelsea, Madrid, and City made it through from the just being winners, right? And then so looks like UEFA has 12 spots. So then they picked. So 3 are gone due to being winners. So the next 9 they picked from whoever were the best
on the rankings.
UEFA ranking in the last 4 years. So that's how they ended up with Bayern Munich, PSG, Inter Milan, Porto, Benfica, Dortmund.
Where's Man United?
So we need hilarious. So basically they're like, let's figure out a way to get the last few Champions League winners in there and teams that have a big name. Like we know we want Bayern.
Not necessarily. I think they were pretty.
Bayern in there.
Bayern is like, if you leave aside the winners, they are the highest ranked coefficient ranking UEFA. It looks like they were pretty clean about it. Like they just picked the top 9. And that also includes Salzburg, who are 9th on the list. It includes Porto,
Salzburg in there.
Benfica, who are 5th and 7th. Yeah, RB
Salzburg's
Salzburg.
in the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You got to get the teams something to beat up, somebody to beat up on.
Yeah.
You got to give every big team some type of win. And how did they do the brackets? Do they look suspect too? Like, is it perfectly placed?
They kind of spread them like all the European in European and South American team and like MLS team and stuff like that.
So everybody
kind of like in a World Cup, like when you do like a World Cup and you see like okay, we don't have Spain and Italy playing on the same group first,
Yeah, so it's fixed. Yeah, in a sense.
Yeah, they don't have the same confederation, like 2 teams from the same confederation. Well, that is weird. They should have, right? Because there's not that many.
Exactly.
There looks like there's like what? There are 8 groups, and there are 12 UEFA teams. So there should be some groups with more than one.
Is it 3 teams per group, or it can't be 4? It's not enough, right?
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, like Man City and Juventus are in the same group.
I guess you got to have some good matches.
And Madrid and Salzburg are in the same group. So.
Shit. I'm still going to some games. Are you gonna go to some games?
I'll try to. I was thinking of going to I wanted to go to the Juventus City in Orlando.
What about in Orlando? Why are you going to Orlando? Why don't you come to the PSG game versus who they playing at the Rose Bowl?
Atletico Madrid, June 15th.
So I want to see City. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch exactly.
Have you seen?
Oh, so PSG's got all the Rose Bowl games.
Yeah, pull up, Neil.
Yeah, all the Rose Bowl. So PSG's got the Rose Bowl's got that group which has PSG and
who's that so far?
So I guess we know who's gonna win the Champions League now. Oof, that just makes sense.
But the best matchup at Rose Bowl is PSG Atletico Madrid. Everything else is kind of like a strong team versus a weak team. There's like Inter Milan playing a bunch of teams.
Are there any SoFi games?
Oh,
no, I don't think so. All right, fam. You gotta jump out.
All right, Lee probably got to bounce too.
I've got to go to bed. It's like 2:30 in the morning here now.
Right. Really quick predictions.
And I'm a couple of beers deep now as well. So
City Crystal Palace. What is the prediction? How many? De Bruyne hat-trick or Haaland?
Is that this weekend coming up?
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
I think I'm gonna put my money on Crystal Palace, bro. Like a 2-1. I think Crystal Palace is gonna sit in, and they've been great. Like they're playing this 3-4-3 the way we play, but they've figured out they have scorers. They can all defend, and then they can counter you guys. And you guys are having trouble breaking people down now, and you're not taking all your chances. Even though you say you're on best form in the league, I don't know, man. Crystal Palace really, and their coach has won a Europa League before, right? Has he? Or did he win a Conference League?
Glasgow won the Europa with Frankfurt. No, they lost. What did they lose to Rangers in the final? Who won that final?
They won that final. Rangers had won.
It went to penalties, didn't it?
Yeah, but I think he won.
Just for you saying that, yeah. Now I'm hoping Chelsea beats United on Friday, even though that affects my Champions League stuff,
You asked. You'd rather hurt yourself?
Yeah, Frankfurt won on penalties. I just had to check it. I can't remember.
Yeah, so the guy's kind of a winner. He's won some shit, I don't know. Crystal Palace, that'd be great for them to win and City can, just come back next year with their club with their
100 million.
With their 100 million and rebuild. Who do you guys?
I feel like I keep seeing Crystal Palace have like good games, and then you look at the table, they're like at 12. It feels like they should be much higher than that.
True.
They started the season so badly, though. They were really slow at the start.
Yeah, they did. Like, people were talking about firing him. Like that type
This
of
is
bad.
such a weird season. Like, if you see the spread of points, I've never
I
seen
agree.
so many teams in the 60s. And then there's a drop, and there's a bunch of teams. And then 12, Crystal Palace at 12 on 49 points. Then there's a big drop to Everton on 42 points. And then you have again five teams. Uh, yeah, five teams in like 4 points of each other. There's a huge drop to relegation, and two of those teams are Man United and Tottenham. So
Oh, I know. You have
it's
to point
like
it out.
multiple mini leagues within the same league.
Normally, there's like 3 leagues, but there's more leagues within the same league this year. All right. Well, we'll let Lee go to bed. I don't know what Alex is gonna do, but take off that shirt and I would dare you. I mean, I'm wearing a Man United shirt after losing 2-0 to West Ham. So, you know what? Let me shut up. Anybody got any parting words? Anything you guys want to plug? Rock Gallery's back on. It's thriving. It's doing its thing out there in Palm Springs. Lee, next time you come to town, you should try to do Rock Gallery. Do a headlining set there.
I've never been out to Palm Springs before, so I need
Yeah,
to do it.
Ian
I need
Lopes,
to get back.
Alex can hook it up.
Yeah, Ian Lopes coming here and just not saying anything until the day. It's like, oh, I just left Palm Springs. I'm like, great, man. Thanks for the heads. Thanks for letting me know.
I tried to link up with you last time.
Yeah, you're like, I'm a Coachella VIP tent. You got full up.
We got to talk about Coachella. All right, let's let these guys go. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Smash the like button. We got 2 or 3 or 4 more episodes left, so I'm glad the people that joined could join today. Good seeing you, Neil. Good seeing you, Alex. Lee, as usual. Yeah, pull up, man. Let's end this thing with a party. And we got people in the comments, in the videos saying we can't end the pod. We love you. Thank you. We appreciate you. And let's have some fun till the end of this thing. All right, y'all. 1.